Hey, this is Naomi.
Ari.
Treasure.
And me.
We are Caribbean cousins.
Having open.
Candid conversations.
About our upbringing.
And much more.
Continue listening to
Spill
the Tea with us.
Trigger warning. In today's episode, we talk about our relationship with food. If this could be triggering for you, please enjoy our other episodes. Thank you.
All right, how's everybody doing?
Okay.
Good.
Good. Awesome.
I'm feeling litty. I'm feeling happy.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's right. I know that's right. All right. Any new updates for the week? What's been going on?
What has been going on, man? I feel like the older you get, the more these weeks just be like, I really have to sit and meditate about how my week went, because this weeks just go by way too fast.
Yeah.
It's been school and naps. I've been trying to prioritize rest. Like when I'm tired, I just go like, I'm laying down. I don't care. I'm taking a nap. Ain't no one to bother me. Ain't no kids to bother me. I'm going to sleep and I'm not going to feel bad about it. Even if it's 8 o'clock, I'm going to sleep. And I'll wake up and do what I need to do. But it's been rest like this whole week, just sleeping as early as possible.
Yeah. I feel like since Monday, that's been a thing. But I realized that I need to, in my like rest life, I need to set boundaries because people will try you, including your job. And yeah, no, I've been like this whole week, I've been thinking about how people got me messed up and how I'm going to correct it. So that's kind of been my week so far, but it's been a good week. And I got to spend time with like my niece because she had a graduation. Mm-hmm. So I've been like kind of reflective about like my younger years and growing up and like how I want my future family to be. So it's been a good week.
Every guy was graduation weekend for like college and high school and everyone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Elementary school, preschoolers graduating is the cutest thing ever.
It is. The little gowns, the little caps.
Crete graduated a couple days ago. Yes. And it just makes me 2 years now. We all went to Clear Creek High School.
That's crazy.
Time is really flying. That means y'all halfway into y'all college experience.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what to say because it's like, it's true. It does go by really fast, faster than you think it's going to go.
When you're busy, it goes by fast. When you're bored or idle, then it just drags. It's like the excruciating pain. Once you're busy doing something that makes sense, yeah, it'll fly by. For sure.
I've been thinking about like, it's been 6 years. Like me and my mom were walking out of the school with my niece and she's like, I haven't had to do this in like 6 years. That's crazy. I was like, yeah, you have it.
Getting your life back.
Yeah. I know. It's wild. What about you, Emmy? Anything new over the past week?
Nope. Honestly, just same old.
I feel it. You're at home right now, so.
No, things are about to pick up though, because I'm starting my new job Friday, just tomorrow.
Yay!
So.
Yeah, I want to hear all about it. I can't wait. Like, let us in on all the deals, like, so we can get these points up. Like,
and like, where you're working fits you so well. Like it just makes sense.
Yeah.
I will be shopping online because the one in my area is very light on the inventory. It's not giving what it needs to give. I know online's gonna be better. It's gonna be better.
Oh yes, I recommend.
But this location online is like,
yeah.
The neon colors are popping. Sales. The colors are nice. Like the neon colors, I'm inspired by the colors, not inspired by the inventory. But yeah, online for sure.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Cause I always shop online whenever I'm on the campus, and there's always a sale. There's always something on sale online. So,
ooh,
yeah.
Let me segue to my favorite thing.
Go ahead.
Putting my phone on do not disturb.
Period.
I've been doing it this week and I have it set for whatever. I don't even know. The setting doesn't even matter. I just had it set. And sometimes I forget it's on. And it makes me feel like this is my office. And I answer my phone when I'm available. And so I have missed calls. I'm like, oh, I have a missed call. Let me get to that. Not when you call me, when I'm available to answer the call. And so I'll have a bunch of missed calls and text messages. And I'm like, let me get to that now after I'm done. Boom, boom. Because when I'm in a flow and I'm studying and what I'm doing, I need to do, I can't just be out of my flow. You know how long it takes to get in the zone? And then you just break out of your zone. You be all frustrated and you don't even know why you're annoyed. That doesn't happen anymore. I be just in a little bubble and then I come out my bubble and I say hi and I go back in my bubble. So that has been my favorite thing. Naps, do not disturb, and just trying to like do what I need to do to survive, like, and be happy. Trying to get my flow in order. So yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that because like getting in a flow is so hard.
Yeah.
Like I've definitely just been not answering calls. I will be not doing anything and I will just look at my phone. All right, I'll get to that whenever I want to. So it's great that you just have like a set time where you just like do not disturb.
Yeah.
I know like my favorite thing right now, as of today, has been my milk frother. I put new batteries in it. That thing is on go, and my milk is still frothed in my Earl Grey lavender tea. Okay, this tastes so good. This is a second favorite. Earl Grey lavender tea has been the best thing ever because, of course, you have the energy from the Earl Grey, but you kind of have like the calmness from the lavender.
I'm gonna
So
need the
good.
details to that. I can drink tea every day, all day.
Amazon Twinnings. If you have a tea brand that you would like to be sponsored by our podcast, just let us know.
Come on down.
Preferably loose leaves or like the eco-friendly bags that are good for us, all that stuff. That'd be really great.
Yes. Speaking of that, what are you guys drinking?
Oh, I'm drinking Twinings peppermint tea and English breakfast tea in one cup.
We're twinning. This is Twinings too.
I'm not drinking it right now, but this morning I had a Ribose tea. I learned about Ribose tea from South Africa. The South Africans love Ribose tea. And I feel like that's why they all have such clear skin, because they did say it helps with like immunity. So I've been really trying to focus on Ribose tea, everybody. It's spelled Roibos. I think that's how you spell it.
I might have to check it out.
Yeah,
I think
know
I
it's really
tasted
good.
one before, but it had to have been like a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
My
gonna have
mom
to.
drinks it every single day for years, and her skin has looked the same.
Huh.
Because this twinning tea is not strong enough for me. I need it to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go ahead and get into my South African bag real quick.
Make a trip. That sounds pretty cool. Honestly, I need some more tea suggestions because maybe it's just a tea that I'm buying, but they just be all tasting the same. But the same thing is though, I mean, not the same thing, but I do be getting the little stuff from like Walmart, not Walmart, like HEB stuff, like little tea bags. So maybe that's the thing. Maybe I just need to switch it up and buy like loose sleeves. I don't know. But
I know what you mean though. Like I said, this is kind of weak. This tea just needs, I wish it was stronger. I feel like there is stronger tea out there. I just need to like elevate, maybe pay more for stronger, more quality tea. Because these are generic bags that anyone can get.
Right. That's yeah. So yeah, because I want to get into it. But I just be drinking water.
What you just said about the eco-friendly bags, though, that set off a nerve in me. Like, I didn't even think of that. Like, eco-friendly bags, like, I need to start looking at that because that's true. Like, that plastic paper, like those toxins that we're absorbing.
Yeah.
Thank
Speaking
you.
of eco-friendly, that goes to my favorite. So back in 2020, I started doing more research on like sustainability and like how to use less waste, use less plastic and stuff like that. And when I got to college, I was doing all right, with that trajectory. But then like second year, I kind of fell off, because like I'm deep into college, stuff's going on, whatever. So this week I hopped back on, trying to gain back that research. And I found this YouTuber on YouTube called Shell Beasley.
I just watched her this morning.
Yes.
I know
And
exactly who you're talking about.
She had like
Shell
4
Beasley.
videos about like sustainable brands who aren't really sustainable, and like she kind of like ranked them, like which one's actually good for you, like which one's actually worth your purchase, and which one's just like fake or just not really showing what they're preaching. And so she went deep. She went like what type of like what do the workshops look like, how many they're paying their workers, like went deep into like their brand's history, dirt, and everything. I was like, wow, because like some of these brands I was hearing her talk about, I'm like, I really thought that was, sustainable or like clean, because I'd be seeing it in Target, I'd be seeing it everywhere. But no, they be owned by like these big companies that don't really support their cause for. They just put a little stamp so they can get the money, because like that's not the it thing, to buy things that are sustainable, that are clean and whatnot. So I was like, wow, this is like good information. And I found like some good brands that are affordable, because some of these clothing brands, like they're nice, they're cute, but I'm not spending $90 on a pair of jeans, or I'm not spending $100 for a t-shirt. I understand that it is recyclable and whatnot, but for me, it's not realistic for me as a college student. So I've been trying to find things that are affordable for me, that I can see myself realistically like buying over and over again.
Yeah,
And
with
that's the thing.
sustainability. Oh, you go ahead, Treasure.
I was gonna say that's the thing though, like trying to find something that's affordable and sustainable. And that's why thrifting for college students, or like anybody, is the way to go. Mixing it up with like the affordable pieces you can, and then some thrifted pieces.
Yeah,
Because
like
it's already been used up, and then you're just taking it to a new home.
Right. I gotta make a little quick shout out to my friend Paige, because she put me on to thrifting during college. You went to that same thrift mart down the street almost every month during freshman year, and I found some cute stuff that I be getting compliments on and stuff. So like that kind of helped me to get back on the path. But like even before that, I never really thought about like going to the thrift store, because I just be going to the mall down the street. But yeah, that's what I've been loving.
the
what were you gonna say?
sustainability. Oh yeah, I was just gonna say it. But with sustainability, like I always told myself, like it's about what you can. It's about what you can do and not what you should do. There's some things that are with being sustainable that not everybody just can do because it doesn't work with their lifestyle. Like I, for a really long time, used a bamboo toothbrush and I loved it. But then when I got to college and, started having to move around and stuff like that, the bamboo toothbrush just wasn't working anymore. And I felt really bad about it. And I had to make a lot of changes, like transitioning into like dorms and stuff like that. We all did. And so and I felt bad, but I learned to not beat myself up about it, because it's about like what I can do. It's what everybody can do. If everybody can do just what they can, that makes the difference.
I agree. I would never shame anyone for purchasing Forever 21 or Shein or brands that I personally won't buy brand new, because I don't know their situation. I don't know what country they live in. I don't know their affordability. You're just buying exactly what's accessible for you, and you're doing the best you can to improve on that, find a balance in that area. Just like I personally, I'm not going to buy brands over $100, $200, $1,000 versus other people that can afford that bracket. So yeah, I agree with you. Do what you can afford to do and what's accessible for you, period.
Exactly. So I mean, like, it kind of messes up everything if you try and do what's outside of your attainable reach.
Oh yeah.
Like that messes up everything. Like it messes up your budget. So on the backside, it won't be as sustainable for you as a person with your mental health. it can mess up, like you could end up being more wasteful if you do things that aren't sustainable for you as a person in the long run. Like I have an electric toothbrush because it's so easy for me to travel with. And instead of having a brand new toothbrush all the time, or like 2 toothbrushes, or one for travel and one for at home, I'm able to just switch the head out. And it's a small thing, but it in the long run, it helps a lot. And also it's realistic because that's one less job for me to think of every single time that I travel. So yeah, do things that are realistic for you. All right, you guys ready to get into the topic?
Yeah, I feel like that was a good topic, but we on to something else.
Yes, that was a really good little tidbit.
Oh wait, I didn't have a favorite.
Oh, go ahead, tell your favorite.
My favorite honestly has been smoothies.
Really?
No, but seriously, because literally so I've been trying to gain weight in the right places, you know, working out, stuff like that, losing weight, and or not in the right places, but where I want to lose them. And so protein smoothies have been helping me to gain weight in the right places. Like I can feel it. Like I'll chug one down and then I'll work out and then I just feel it throbbing. And then like I just see the differences and it's nice. And they taste good because I made them.
That T word just got me. I'm sorry.
Girl, not throbbing.
I know that really got me.
I'm dead.
What's like your favorite like combination for your smoothies right now?
Banana, not banana. What am I saying? Because everybody uses banana, but I don't like banana. If you're a banana person, go ahead and put banana, but I don't like it. But pineapple, I put pineapple with everything because I'm a pineapple girl. Pineapple, strawberry, this protein powder that I found in the cabinet. I don't know what it's called, but it's plant-based. I'll get it to y'all. I just saw plant-based protein powder and went for it. And then some honey, and then some milk, lactose-free milk. Yeah, and I just put it in the Ninja and I eat it. I mean, not I eat it. Well, today I had to eat it because I didn't put enough milk because the milk I had to use today, I'm going on a tangent, so sorry, but the milk I had to use today wasn't lactose free. So, you know, I was like skimping out a little, like I didn't want to put too much. Like I just thought it was too much. And so, of course, it came out like ice cream. So I had to sit there and eat it like it was ice cream, but it's whatever. It's summer.
Next time you can do a smoothie bowl and put some toppings on there. You can make it like ice cream,
right.
almonds, or whatever you want to
put on.
I know.
Oh,
it's a tangent because you had to eat it for me.
It was a good favorite. That's a good idea. I forget to do smoothies. I really forget, and I could totally do one every day. I don't be remembering.
No, I try to get into smoothies. It wasn't doing it for me.
Oh, trust me, I understand that because this is like round 3 of me trying with smoothies.
Better than juicing. I can't do juicing.
My grandma tried to make me do drink the because she had a little juicer stuff and put the little the vegetable in the thing.
Whole
like,
lifestyle.
That's disgusting.
See, I love a good smoothie. But the thing is, I go in waves with smoothies. There's always a rotation. I'll do smoothies, then I'll phase out of it. Then I'll do, because it's always usually for like breakfast. So I'll do smoothies. Then I'll do like a parfait. And then I'll do chia pudding. And then I'll cycle right back. But like my favorite combination is always like the tropical mix. But I have to have banana in my smoothie. I have to. I don't know why. I have to. And it has to be honey. I cannot put sugar in a smoothie. It just feels weird.
It defeats the purpose. Feels like
put sugar in a smoothie. I thought the sugar is the fruits. I just add more fruits. That's
the people want it to be sweet. They probably be putting sugar in all of these smoothies that we be purchasing out here. But like fast food and these things.
When I go to Smoothie King, when I used to, it be ice cream, which is the sugar. They put ice cream, they put juice. Sense. That's the sugar. They put juice. maybe. You can put like orange juice. That combo is really good. A little bit of orange juice, ice cream, strawberry, banana, mango, pineapple.
I could do that. I could do the orange juice in that. But if I have a strawberry banana, I put coconut milk in my smoothies. And I love it so much. Oh my goodness. And the thing is, I always have them for breakfast. So I have to have something a little bit filling in there. So I'll either put like chia seeds or I'll put oats in my smoothie. But I have to put the oats in the water and let it sit for a little bit. And then.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because it's filling. You feel like
I
satiated.
hear you. Yeah. I'm an intermittent fasting person, so I'm just drinking my tea right now. I'm not gonna eat till this afternoon. Let's talk about
Since we're already talking about
okay.
food. Since we're already talking about food. So basically, we're gonna talk about how our relationship is with food. Like us, what our families have taught us, our culture has taught us, and basically how do we find the balance and everything. So like, how's everybody's relationship with food? You want me to go? Oh, you can go, Treasure.
Like it's been bipolar for me. I just grew up like not wanting to be. I feel like I have to say a disclaimer for anyone that's has any eating disorders or anything like that. I think we're going to talk about things that may trigger that. So just a trigger warning. But I just grew up like not wanting to be fat. And then I went through a phase of wanting to eat a lot to get the weight in the right places, especially going to college. I wanted to be curvy. I didn't want to be a stick figure anymore. And so now I'm at the point where like maintain, but build. And so I'm trying to eat foods that are nutrient filled. And not just be eating intuitively, I guess. That's my relationship with food. Right now, it's eating intuitively. Like eat when I'm hungry, not just to fill a void or whatever. And so, yeah, that's me today. Like, hey, you're not hungry now. Just drink some water, have your first movement in the morning, drink some more water, pay attention. Are you hungry now? Okay, then eat. If not, don't. And so I'm not usually hungry until like afternoon. So I eat lunch and then I may have dinner, a light dinner, and that's it. That works for me now. But on vacations, it changes. Like, yeah, everybody eat. I'm eating too. I'm not gonna deprive myself. I'm not like so structured like a monk, but like, I just don't want to just be shoving food in my mouth. So that's just trying to be intuitive and pay attention. My mom has been getting on me about making sure that my foods are nutrient filled, and I need to work on that. Like, not just because it's green, but make sure like, does your body need this? Does it need this vitamin? Like, what is your body lacking? Make sure you have that. I'm not there yet, but that's kind of where I want to be. Just kind of keeping it brief there. I go in more detail when you guys, share more, but yeah.
Did you mean like my relationship with food right now, or like throughout my life?
Today.
Oh, today I would say my relationship with food is like we're cool, because I just feel like I just have a better understanding of what I like and what I don't like now. I have a better understanding of what food is to me, so it makes a lot more sense. I know how to eat now, because of everything that childhood inflicted on me that caused me not knowing how to eat. But we'll get into that later.
So how would you describe like, because I remember I noticed when I was growing up, I noticed you had certain allergies, and I was like, oh, Ariel can't eat this and this.
Perfect.
So today, how would you say you eat now? Like what's your thing? Like what's your normal routine with food?
Okay. I like that you brought up my allergies, because one of the big things that caused my relationship with food to be the way it was my allergies. Of course, I had my own personal preferences and other things, but like the top thing was my allergies. Now, I just know what to avoid. Like, I know what restaurants tend to cross-contaminate. I know like when it comes to nuts, I know like at home, nobody's cooking with nuts anyway. And then I know like what's safe for me to eat when it comes to eating out. which like pasta, like I can't go wrong with pasta, stuff like that. When it comes to at home, I keep it very minimal and safe and simple at home. Like for example, for lunch, I'll do like a salad or a sandwich. Like can't go wrong because there's no nuts. And then cheese, I'll make it dairy free because another thing is our allergies with like dairy and stuff like that. I eat, like I was talking about earlier, the reason why I didn't want to put a whole bunch of milk was because it wasn't dairy free. I don't like things that have lactose in it because it doesn't work well with my body. It doesn't communicate well to my body. So, and I use vegan cream cheese, stuff like that. That's the stuff that I'm cooking with that's in our house. Everybody else can have all the lactose and the real things, but I'll take the little clean girl stuff, but whatever.
Yeah, kind of piggyback off of that. Like, I grew up allergic to a lot of things as well. Like, it was me, Ariel, allergic to everything.
And I feel like you had it in a different way. I feel like you had it in a different way than I did because like you were allergic to fish. You have to eat fish here. I simply don't like it. You had an excuse.
And because I was allergic to it, Ariel would say she was allergic to it to get out of it.
Piggyback.
But yeah, I was allergic and still, of course, still am allergic to a lot of things. So I, at one point, was like scared to eat a lot of things, but I'm always an adventurous eater, which doesn't make sense. I would have to quiz people so hard because I do like food. I still to this day enjoy food and I love different cultural experiences. But growing up, we had religious restrictions. And on top of those religious restrictions, I had, of course, things that I was allergic to. So I felt so limited in what I could like and what I could enjoy. But we also had very cultural foods that I loved and I enjoyed. So my relationship today is I love food. Me and food are friends. I do kind of have an unhealthy view on food sometimes. Like I kind of teeter towards, well, I'm getting to the point where I'm trying to balance it. And I, as a person, go through two extremes at all points in time. That's just my personality. So I'm trying to find like a balance for it. But I know like right now I am in my not so healthy era of food. And I'm getting to the point where like, hey, I have to be eating better because I gained a lot of weight over quarantine and over COVID. And it's just because I liked food and I was at home. I wasn't doing anything. And I was learning how to make food. And I didn't really notice it as much until people were like, hey, you need to clean up how you're eating because you gained a bunch of weight.
Ooh.
Yeah. And like,
are
of
those
course,
people, are those people in great shape that were speaking to you? Were they like, was it coming from compassion? Was it coming from compassion or did it feel judgmental?
It wasn't compassionate whatsoever.
It never is.
Okay. And it wasn't even like family. Well, my mom, of course, has her little statements because she's Caribbean. So she's like, oh, you're fat. Your cheeks are so fat. You're getting bigger. You're finally eating like a full plate of food. You're finishing your food. But it wasn't my family at first. It was people in the modeling area. When I first went to my first casting call after everything, and I had my bakery business. So like people were wanting to like purchase from me. And I remember I walked in and somebody's like, why are you selling this here? Like, you got bigger, not really that many people are gonna want it. I sold out, but that's besides the point. Like, people were just criticizing my body. Like, I had this guy pull me to the side with this other person saying, you need to get in the gym because you gained too much weight. So that like kind of shut everything down in my head. Like, okay, shoot, like I have to clean up what I eat, but I'm having fun eating like what I actually like and enjoy. But that kind of starts the battle inside your head of what you should or shouldn't eat.
I didn't realize that. That's crazy. That's kind of painful though. Like when you're at work and that's like someone tells you that, I would need a minute. I'd be like, well, Well,
I
damn.
was pissed. Like, mad was not the word. I was pissed because, like, I did good. Like, I was doing good. And beforehand, I didn't have a healthy relationship with food because I was traveling, I was going through photo shoots, I was going to different cities. Like, remember one time I had to go from Houston, Dallas, swing by Austin. No, Dallas. It was either Dallas or nope, it was Austin. I had to go from Houston to Austin. San Antonio might have been in that day as well, and then come back to Houston the same day. Like, it was a 5 a.m. to an 11 o'clock day for me. I had to go through those cities. Those cities are far away. So I didn't eat much, and that was on the regular. I wasn't eating as much as I was supposed to eat. So I finally got to a point where, like, oh, I'm eating as much as I'm supposed to be eating, but I actually feel comfortable. And people were like, you gained so much weight. Like, you are not in the model measurements. When there's plus size models that are bigger than me,
They're pretty much saying you changed and we don't like it, which is not,
yeah,
sounds like a personal problem.
exactly. And I'm, of course, not saying anything negative about them because they are beautiful. But it's like, why are you attacking me because I changed your view on me? I'm no longer super slim. I understand that could be an issue for you, but don't bring it to me in this negative way. So yeah, that was kind of like how my relationship with food is right now. I do still have, like, we'll get more into, like, how allergies really play a role in how you view food, because that could really scare you from a lot of foods if you let it. And having to, like, ask so many questions to make sure that food's safe for you. Because for me, having allergic reaction is traumatizing. And
Every
it
time.
scares you. Yes. It scares you so bad. So yeah.
I can't
It's
even
always a
imagine.
big event. It's always a big, when it gets to like a big production, that's something I feel like a lot of people don't know. Like, an allergic reaction, like, escalates. Like, you need to know. Like, that's why restaurant workers need to be so careful whenever they're serving certain things, because it's like, that's something that's a lawsuit. Like, me and Naomi have both been in situations where we've had to call ambulances, like things like that. These things aren't okay. I mean, it's a way of life, but there's some situations where it can be avoided.
Definitely. But we'll get more into that in a little bit. Emmy, what's your relationship like with food?
It's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's been very drastic ups and downs. I feel like there hasn't really been a smooth in between. And I don't know, this plays it with the question, but I guess I'll say for today, I'm trying to pick myself up a little bit. It hasn't really been smooth. And also being in college is a struggle as well, because our food is so filled with sodium and salt and sodium and more sodium and more salt. Like, so freshman year, I did well with the salads. Like, I really tried to put in that balance, but sometimes the food that they have available just does not look good. So you're stuck with the pizza, you're stuck with fries. And, I went home craving burgers and fries. And so now it's like, I don't even want another burger. But like, I love Chick-fil-A. So like, it's no in between. Like, it's literally no in between. It's so up and down. So the only thing that's really been saving me has been working out and like staying active. So, which is why I was in the gym almost every single day, if not 3 times a week, because the diet was just all over the place. So yeah, that's right.
I feel like food and body go hand in hand. I feel like I can't talk about food without like thinking about what my body looks like. Because yesterday, what did I eat yesterday? Oh, I ate McDonald's yesterday. And I said to myself, like, I'm gonna eat this McDonald's. I have enough food for 1 week, but I just feel like eating fast food right now. And I was like, man, I bought vegetables. I can eat a carrot. I can eat something that's gonna make me feel better. But right now, I just want to eat McDonald's, and I'm gonna shut off my judgment. I'm just gonna freaking eat that McDonald's. And I think it's fine to have days when you eat meat, but I just feel like I want to get to the point where I have days when I remember I ate greens. Like, oh yeah, I did eat the salad. I did eat this thing, or I did drink this smoothie that had like a leafy. Like there's these powders my mom used to give me as a kid. It was like super greens. So if you don't eat your vegetables, at least you have this super green powder drink, and like something like that. And so I'm just trying to find what's easy, because just like y'all, like I need convenience. Like my struggle has been mental health. I have like depression. No one really knows. Like I have really bad depression. So sometimes I can't even get up out of my bed. Sometimes I can't even make myself food. So like I try to find the most convenient food to make. And if I can cook enough food for it's gonna last me a week, I'll just eat that. Like without even thinking, just easy, eat salad, eat the same thing every day, because that's literally all I can do. But when I'm with my partner, I get distracted. I don't feel my depression as bad, because I have someone there that's like filling up a lot of my time, and I can take care of them, so I can take the distraction off of me. But when it's just me, like it's really, really hard. So for me, food is just like convenient, check, edible, check. Is there something green? Hopefully. But today, maybe we're not. Maybe today's not green. Maybe tomorrow it'll be green. Today, it's like, I need to eat so I can fall asleep tonight and feel like my stomach isn't empty. But yeah, just want to be more transparent about that. It's a really hard conversation, honestly.
Definitely. I feel like all those three things like come into your relationship with food, like the mental health aspect, of course the food, but also the physical. Like they all like play a role in your relationship. And sometimes I think our verbiage and how we think about food is just off because of how we were raised, in the sense of we have to have something to save us, when if we eat that day, that is great. So kind of like what you said, Emerald, like, hey, I didn't eat the best, but the gym's gonna save me. It doesn't have to save you. You ate for the day, you're good. So I feel like that could also feed into like the mental health aspect of it. And I feel like that's a really important topic to like just go into. Like there is food that is not the best and most nutrient filled, but it's not bad food, you know? It still filled you up in some capacity.
Yeah. It's more like not beating ourselves up, because that's like twice the harm. And let's just say you ate something that's like not the best quality, or like let's just say it doesn't have a lot of nutrients in it, right? It's low in nutrients. It's like, but I ate. So like tomorrow we'll do it again. Just like let's just say you have a workout routine and you're only able to do one day. You don't beat yourself up, because if you beat yourself up, you probably won't work out the next week. So it's like, okay, I only did one day. I did it. I did that one day strong. Next week, we're going to do better. That's just really all I can do right now, because beating myself up is not an option. That's just going to make me feel 10 times worse. No punishment.
And I think that goes into like the sustainability factor that we talked about earlier. Like, what is realistically sustainable for us food wise? Like Ariel and Emerald, like you guys are both in college. There's not a lot of options all the time for the most nutrient filled stuff. It's not sustainable to think every single day I'm going to have 4 salads and that is it. And I'm going to have only vegetables and only the best proteins.
Steamed veggies, lightly salted on a platter.
I know it's hard because like you're working with that fridge that's next to the bathroom. Like you just don't even want to think about like cooking in the dorm sometimes, because it's disgusting. I'm sorry. Like it is. I mean, sometimes it's not all the time. Not saying it's no. Listen to me. I feel like people are gonna mix that up. But you need to understand, a dorm isn't the most sanitary place. Like to
I agree.
be eating in a dorm, to like listen, take it from somebody who's literally frying Oreos and selling to people. Like that is not the most sanitary place in the world. But it's okay. Not that it's dirty. It can be clean. You know, you got your little ready meals, stuff like that. That's cute. That works. That can be healthy. But you could only hold so much in that fridge. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's only so much you can do. But, you know, like you said, some days where I'm like, I'm going to Chick-fil-A. I don't even beat up myself because it's like, at least I'm eating something. At least I'm eating something safe.
Yeah, I don't ever feel guilty eating Chick-fil-A. It'd be like, this is the best chicken. These fries, this lemonade is. I feel good. I wish we had that out here. I'll go there before MC.
There's no Chick-fil-A in Hawaii.
No, they're building one in Maui, and I'm like, that's not where I live. That's not the island I'm on.
Treasure. I was scrolling through TikTok and I figured there's something. I think it might just be in Hawaii, but there's Hawaii nuggets. Like they have a different style of nugget. It's like sweet and spicy. We'll talk about it later. But my gosh, I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I have to try it. But yeah, I never feel bad about Chick-fil-A. Me and Chick-fil-A see each other 1 to 2 times a week.
Never feel bad. I'm eating everything. I order 2 sides of fries.
I
All
have
that's for me.
fries.
All that's for me. See that bag I ordered? That's for not a family. That's for me.
We need to stop gassing Chick-fil-A on this Black platform and move on to something else.
That's true.
Like-
You're right. Thank you. I knew it didn't feel right, but I just said it tastes good, but sometimes I don't feel right. Our family, our home environment. My mom was and still is. She's a little bit like Treasure. Is that your second soda today? I'm like, lady, excuse me. I used to get so mad about that. I was like, listen, you always tell me to take my vitamins. You're drilling in my head, drink my water, my lemon water. She's really tight on nutrition. Like, it's kind of annoying to the point where I'm glad I'm by myself so I can eat in peace and not feel bad. But it's still drilled in my brain. Like, make sure you have your nutrients. Make sure you take your vitamins. Make sure you drink your lemon water in the morning so you can have a bowel movement. Like, I think like a nurse. Like, it's kind of annoying. Nutritionist. But that's kind of how I grew up. Like, my mom did make some Caribbean foods, but it was mostly a holiday thing, like a special occasion holiday thing. But she mostly tried to keep it as healthy as possible. No snacks, only sodas on like birthdays or holidays, but like no snackies at home, no junk food. So lame. I did not like that.
What about you? I mean, like, what was your like relationship with food in your household and your family?
Interesting.
Keep it real
Because
now.
I grew up, we still have, junk food in our pantry, the chips, the Doritos, I love applesauce. It's not really the healthiest thing, but I love applesauce.
No, I love it. I have some in my fridge.
Yes.
Those pouches?
No, the whole bottle.
I have both. We have the Go-Go Squeeze, which I started getting into like 2 years ago. But anyways, that's besides the point. I love applesauce. That's not even the topic. So yeah, I grew up with, junk food, a lot of rice, had a lot of rice. We did fish. So it honestly, it wasn't completely unhealthy, but I didn't like vegetables. I still don't like vegetables. Belia also does not like vegetables. We both do not like vegetables. And I think it was because my mom focused on cooking things that we would actually eat. And so because we wouldn't eat some of the healthy stuff, she wouldn't really cook healthy stuff because she didn't want to waste food. You know, they want to cook stuff. You know, she gotta go to work.
Oh, you
in
didn't
an
get
hour or
beat for not
so.
eating. You didn't get beat for like not finishing your food because I cried. There were tears in my food,
Oh, no.
tears and snot in my food.
I know that.
Sorry, whole other thing. Sorry, I'm so envious of you, bro.
I'm so sorry. That's terrible.
Did you drink carrot juice
Bro.
No.
and barley green?
Mm-mm.
My
Because
mom had a detox juice that she would bring out ever so often. And it still causes me trauma to this day. Like, why is aloe vera? First of all, aloe don't taste good. Cranberry and orange juice mixed together for me to drink. No. Anyway, Emmy, you can go back.
Sorry, Emmy. I'm getting my trauma is coming up.
Like, it makes no sense. I am a child.
Man, yeah, we had ice cream, bluebell ice cream in the freezer, popsicles, apple juice, orange juice, mango juice, grape juice, all the
Living in your
juices.
house.
Yeah. So, I mean, in a way, it was okay, but in the long run, it wasn't. Because now that I live on my own, you know, going to college and whatnot, you know, it's hard for me to like try to eat healthy because I'm not used to eating that types of food. So it's kind of like, it's just like a weird place I'm at right now. Like, I know like this is healthy, but I don't like it. So I've been trying to like find things that I think I will like and maybe try it out and see. You know, now my mom's trying to bring into the healthy stuff and we not liking none of it. Malia's like, what is this? This is gross. And, you know, I know my dad is pushing it because my dad wants to eat healthier, whatever that means. But, you know, nowadays I came home, all of a sudden we can't have no more noodles, can't have no more soda in the house, but we be sneaking the stuff in. So it's not good. It's not good. I bought McDonald's this morning to the door, right? Me and Malia scurrying through the house with the bag of McDonald's because my dad was in the living room. Like, it's not really good right now.
I feel like a drug dealer when I have to do that. Like, put it in a bag, close it so no smell, because they smell of fry. You close that bag tight.
Exactly.
Not it. You have to throw it away. You have to make sure you keep it in your room until it goes directly in the trash, on the trash. Because one thing my mom's good for is finding a bag. If she finds a Plucker's bag, it's over with. She is mad because I didn't get her none.
Yeah, so it's been interesting. It's been interesting. I've seen my mom start eating more healthier now because of her health, and so that has been helping a little bit, you know, because now some of the things she can't eat, so she's kind of changed up what she's been cooking for the household and stuff. And so, yeah.
That's interesting because I know that. Does Malia eat meat?
Okay, so that's the thing. Malia's sworn off of chicken, meat, everything. She said it's gross. Why are we eating dead animals? She does not like it. I say she's a vegan. I know she don't like me saying that, but she's a vegetarian. So I grew up vegetarian too, but I made the switch once I had McDonald's for the first time. And so I've kind of just been eating chicken all my life and fish. I love salmon and fish and everything. So yeah, the household is really different. We all eat different things, all have different tastes. So that's why it can be a little hard to like eat healthy because we all don't eat the same things.
Yeah,
So it's trying to find that
dramatically.
middle ground, like what we all can eat. That's usually pasta. That's usually rice and dal or rice or something, you know. So
Mhm.
That goes into like why we had this topic in the first place. Because at the end of after we finished filming the last episode, we talked about how like our parents we would have like different meals all the time, and there was no like consistent schedule. Because I know Ariel, you said that like everybody wanted different things at different times. That's how it is in my household. Like my family relationship with food is I grew up vegetarian too, like for the most part, because my brother didn't want me to eat meat. Not my mom, my brother. My brother didn't want me to eat meat. Um, but I ended up eating meat as I grew up. But it wasn't meat focused unless it was like a curry chicken, curry goat, any of those things. But like it wasn't always focused on meat how it is like in America, like you have steak and then you have everything else.
Mhm.
But in my family, it wasn't focused on that. It was more focused on like the carb. So for me, I really enjoyed. Like in my family, we really enjoyed like curry and a carb. So of course, like either my mom doesn't do like rice, she will make roti. But the thing is, I had a bunch of like cultural food growing up, and honestly, most of it isn't the most nutritionally dense thing ever, especially like in America. But you know, that's another topic. And also being around like my grandma whenever she became more sick, she wouldn't eat the same things that I would eat because she would think it was too salty. Then my mom would eat something else, or there just wasn't food in the house because everybody like pre-made food. Like my mom wouldn't always make me food. I had to make myself food, or we would have to figure something out. Or my stepdad would cook whenever he was around, but we would always have to figure it out last minute for ourselves because we were just all so busy. But like my familiar like relationship with food is me and my mom, we will sit down and eat together when like I'm not saying we're going through something, but like we'll sit down and emotionally eat sometimes. Or I will bring something home for us to eat together, but we'll eat too much of it. And just be like really, really full. And then just I won't eat throughout the day. Besides the point. But
How do you know when it's too much? Do you feel like it's because you feel like you're about to fall over? Like what's your
now,
indicator?
me and my mom just be laid out, just sit for a little bit. Or it'll just be gone. Like me and my mom, we recently ate mangoes together. That was fine. That was a good thing that we did it. We only had one each. We were fine. But then my mom and I will eat bakes.
Oh, that mess you up, bro. I love me a bake.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And it's
I feel
the
like there's
first
no
time
limit to bakes. I feel like there's no limit. You can eat like
no,
three and
you
that,
just be
that
knocking them back. I mean,
yes. And then it explodes in your stomach and you're just like, I'm gonna need a
you'd be
minute,
like,
guys.
oh my gosh. You be ready for a nap. And the thing is, it's not bad because it's a cultural experience. Like it's a cultural experience that we haven't had in forever. So of course we want to indulge in it, but we overly indulge in it.
Yeah, I would never say good or bad because that sounds like a moral thing. It's more like how much are we doing? Are we gonna take the whole bag with us? Or are we gonna just put two, close the bag, put it away, and be like, no, I'm only gonna have two today.
Exactly. And me and my mom both have addictive personalities. There's no putting up with that bag. So like with the bakes, I ate like 4. And they're not tiny bakes, they're the big bakes, okay? I ate like 4, and because I'm allergic to stuff, I had spinach, my mom did it. So like, of course, overindulging is a thing in my house. And also, growing up, I became so scared of eating certain things because I'm allergic to so many things. And I'm not saying that my mom backed up that fear by any means, because she wanted me to experiment with foods and see what I liked. But she was also scared. As a parent, you don't want to see your kid almost die so many times, you know? And my mom would have to ask strategic questions like, hey, did you ask them what's all in it? Flip over the package to make sure there's nothing in it. Was the manufacturer, has it been made in a facility that has peanuts around it? Have you looked up the reviews? Like all these different things. So it scares you.
Oh, wow.
Like
That's
it,
a lot.
yeah. And growing up, I was just scared. And then my mom, she eats fish still. My mom will clean fish in the house. My mom will still make fish for herself. So there wasn't really like a strict schedule. And again, it's that logic of, I don't know if I want to eat today because I don't know what's happening. Like, I don't know if everything's going to be safe for me at this current point in time, if that makes sense. And I really do feel like growing up that my allergies, I'm not saying that they weren't taken seriously, because they were. It's just that it was seen as a poor you type of thing. Like, oh, you can't have peanut butter. That sucks for you. You can't have fish. Everybody eats fish in this household. You wouldn't be able to be born in Guyana if you had so many allergies. You would have already died by now in Guyana.
Heard that too many times.
Whoa, that sounds traumatic to me. Ooh.
Yeah, like I can't see. We had kids in America, and look at them. Look how they turned out. They are so sensitive to everything.
People don't know how to speak to people that have like slight differences. Instead of asking like, wow, what is it like? What is it like to, like, I'm like wanting to know more. I literally feel like there's a whole podcast on just allergies and how you feel about that. But I do want to know more for real. I also want to hear what Ariel's, I feel like her situation's probably, I know she's beaming to get to it. Like I can see her like,
don't even do
it's
that.
my turn.
The thing is, like, even in like a community setting, having a potluck is so scary, because you have to ask every single individual, what do they make this food with? Like, what's in it?
Yeah, I just don't eat from people. That's my solution. But
Growing up in church, you guys were like, I used to be like, hey, Ariel has like a spoon of rice, 2 pieces of macaroni shells. And I'm like, okay.
Who are y'all? Like, what are you doing? Like, what? A potluck was always the wildest concept to me growing up. I've never said this. You're gonna have a whole bunch of people you don't know come together in their house that they don't clean and give you food. Not y'all. Not talking about you. Not talking about y'all.
No, I'm not even taking offense. It's something to think about. It is something to think about, especially when we don't know the people.
Like, I eat from y'all. I'm not talking about y'all, but I'm talking about like whenever we're at church and it's like people that we don't like know, like not close to, don't talk to like that. Who are they? Like,
yes, there is 5 people at church that I would eat from. And yeah, I'm not gonna list them, but yes, there was 5-6 people that I would eat from. That's it. Because they would bring things that were consistent. If it was consistently brought, I knew I could trust it. Because the people that made it were usually right there, so I could ask them what's in there, or they would tell me, "Don't eat it right now."
My mom's plates were simple. She always brought rice and salad and something else. She never did too much, bro. She only did like 3 things she used to bring: rice, salad, some beans. Same thing every week.
But the thing is, like, I know that Ariel and I were scared to like really indulge in potluck sometimes, because one time me and Ariel, we almost died in church.
I know.
Like,
we almost died in church. Did you hear what you just said?
Yes. Because we had a potluck and they didn't tell, one of the things that were in there, they didn't tell us that we were both allergic to.
It was mushrooms. It was some kind of mushroom. Or you might have been talking about another time, because the thing about it, there's multiple times. Like, one thing I really want to say is like, like in my household, see, my mom took my allergies seriously, but my grandma didn't. And because my grandma didn't, nobody else did. So at home, or like everybody else other than my mom. So like at home, there was no room to like understand me. There was no room to like create a, or they didn't make room to create like a safe space for me and food. They just kept continuing to eat, to cook the food that I literally said I'm not going to eat.
You're not able to eat. You're literally
Not,
physically
you're
not
right.
able to eat, whether you
Because
like it or not.
one, my
Right.
allergies, and two, just my personal preferences. And a lot of my personal preferences are because they just make me sick. Some things are because of allergies, and then a lot of things just make me sick. There's a difference. Like I get sick
Mhm.
very easily. And then also, I have a thing with texture. I do. That's a really big thing for me. Like,
I've heard that. I've heard people. I have a friend like that. So I'm listening. I hear you.
and like, of course, I understand that that's something not everybody understands, but it just goes back to people that don't want to try and understand and don't know how to talk to people that are different from you, like you were saying. That just, it just didn't create a safe space. So I, for a really long time, I would go months at a time without eating because I just couldn't. Because first of all, I was really young. I'm not saying you can't cook when you're young, but it's like I was really young, so it's like I can't really cook, and they're making all this food, so it's like I just wouldn't eat. And then my mom, thank God, if it wasn't for her, she kind of caught on and like saw what was going on. So she's the person that like introduced me to fast food, and like restaurants and stuff like that. So she would always, like buy fast food and like restaurant and like take me to restaurants. And she eventually started learning how to like cook for me herself.
Mhm.
But she would do all that, and like my family would just always like give her mess for it. Like, why are you giving her all this fat food? Like, why? And then always trying to talk to me about it. Like, why are you eating all this fast food? Why, this is unhealthy for you. This is so unhealthy. But it's like the call is coming from inside the house, because here you are with some curry.
Mhm.
And like, it doesn't make any sense.
So you're not able to eat curry, right?
I can eat curry. Because at first I had a really big problem with curry's texture when I was younger. But as I've gotten older, I can eat curry.
Wait, hold up
I
though.
love
So curry is the seasoning, like it's the spice,
Oh yeah,
So
not the seasoning, but like
the chickpea, is it chickpeas?
yeah.
Sometimes it's chickpeas, sometimes it's potatoes, sometimes it's just
Yeah,
meat.
like chicken
All
curry,
three.
curry,
Okay.
goat curry, like all no, like that's
Okay.
what I mean when I say curry. Chickpea, all that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had a really big problem with the texture when I was younger, but I eat it now. I love it now. It's one of my favorites now. But I'm not gonna eat it all the time because of all that fat. You know what I'm saying? It's
All the
not good
oil
for you.
sitting
It's not
up. Yeah.
yeah, it's not particularly good for you. And it's like they think that's good for them, which is another problem. And I understand that growing up in like in those conditions of those countries, you were eating what you could eat, which
Yeah.
in turn wasn't always the healthiest stuff, because what's always the cheapest, the most unhealthiest? Soul food in America comes from the crops, the scraps that African Americans were only able to get. Same thing transpired over in the Caribbean with all of our foods. It's not the healthiest, but that's okay. We can eat it. But the
Yeah.
issue was, this is being presented to me like this is something that I need to eat.
Like it's the only
Like,
option. Yeah.
and that was an issue. And I just remember just always feeling so ashamed of myself, and then this takes me to like how you're talking about with like food and body, like you can't talk about one without talking about the other. I thought I
Mhm.
was unhealthy. I thought I was fat, because on top of that, you know how Caribbean people are, always talking
Mhm.
about your appearance.
Mm.
I thought
That
something was wrong with the way I
gets me
looked.
every time, bro. That
Like
gets me every time.
I thought there was something wrong with the way I looked. And so because of that, I always wore baggy clothes because I thought I was bigger than I was. and that gave me serious body dysmorphia. I didn't know I was considered petite until like 2 years ago. Like, that's how deep it got.
So to me, without having these conversations, there's no awareness. Zero awareness. I don't know about all I remember as a kid is seeing your mom. I was in a car with your mom one time. This is back when she had her first Camry when she first went to Texas.
Oh my God.
Back in
that Camry.
That faithful Camry, right? I'm a kid, but I'm aware, like, you're a mother and daughter, and I remember one time we were going somewhere. I don't know why she picked me up where I was in the car, but I was in the back seat, and she was like, I'm gonna go take Ariel to pick up some McDonald's. She said she wants McDonald's. She's like, right, Ari? And you're like, McDonald's. And I'm like, it's so cute, right? And so your mom gets it for you. And she said, I just need to get it for her, and then she'll be good. And I was just like, oh, I never had that growing up. It's cool that, you listen to your daughter. She says she wants something, you get it for her. But then I kept thinking, like, does that happen all the time? So someone on the outside judges that situation, not knowing about your allergies, not knowing about your relationship with your mom, not knowing that your mom is probably the only person that really gets you and listens to you. So without that backstory, you don't have awareness, you're judgmental, you're pushing your beliefs on somebody else and what you think is best for them, but you don't know the backstory. And that's why, like, we need to talk about, this is the backstory, like why we are, how we see food today, and where we actually want to be.
Exactly. Because I feel like a lot growing up, like, we always knew Ariel is not going to be anything. She's going to have her children's insured, and she's going to have plain pasta with Parmesan cheese, and that is it. And that was like the running joke, and everybody would like talk about it. But
and if I'm being honest, I'm crying, but I'm not. I don't know. I just be crying when I talk about stuff like this, but I'm not even.
It's
sad.
painful.
Yeah, I'm not even sad though. But no, for real, like, it hurt.
yeah,
You surprised? It's okay, girl. It's okay. I promise.
Like, I didn't resent anybody. Like, I didn't resent anyone or anything like that, because I knew why. Like, I was smart enough to know why everybody was saying that. They just don't understand. So, and when someone doesn't know, they don't know. So I would never penalize somebody for that. You know what I'm saying? But it just hurt because it's like, you just feel kind of alone. I mean, I've always related to Naomi because, she with the allergies and stuff like that.
I'm so glad we're talking about this.
This is why we have the podcast.
I freaking love you, Ariel, so much. Like,
this is exactly why we have this podcast, so we can have this conversation.
I was like, I saw my Kleenex in my cupboard. I said, maybe I should get my Kleenex. So I'm finna cry right with you, bro. Like,
I have one right here. But
all you, queen, all you.
This is a text form. I'm screaming. I didn't want to get up. But yeah, it just kind of hurt it. And it still does. Yeah, of course it still does, because like, everyone else in our family still kind of makes these comments. And of course I've definitely gotten a lot better, because I've gotten more comfortable. I've gotten a little bit more adventurous. I like a lot more things now. Like, I'm definitely more able to be more free with the way I eat. And I love that, because I would say that I am really pretty free with the way I eat now. Like, I'll try anything if I want to, if I really, really want to. But, it's like people will still say stuff like that. And it's just like, it's frustrating, because it's like, if they're coming from a place of like, they're determined to not understand. You know what I'm saying?
Period. Like, it's like a structured, I'm not going to understand you, so I can still have fun and be in my little bubble. And like, growing up, of course they have those comments about you, Ariel, but then like now they flip it, like, oh, you're finally eating more things. Or like for me, oh, you finally are gaining weight.
It just sounds so backhanded.
Yeah. Like, it's the finally and how they say it. Like, those little comments, those keep on chipping away at you, and they in turn hurt your relationship with food, because no matter how you feed a kid, no matter how you feed yourself as an adult, like, You just need to have fuel for your body.
Mhm.
And if you keep on having those slick comments, like it hurts your relationship with food. And
Mhm.
like how they would say, well, we could send your plate to Guyana to feed a kid.
Yeah, that that killed me so many times when I was younger, getting into it with Uncle. So do it, like
You'll be spoiled by the time it
It's
gets
like-
there.
you keep talking about how people are hungry. Why don't you feed them?
I used to think that as a kid. They're like, finish your plate. I'm like, I ate all that I could eat. You know, I have relatives that would not pressure me to eat my food, but I had family that I had to eat my food whether I was crying over it or not. Like that's sad. Like crying over your food, it shouldn't take that. It shouldn't be that hard. Like nowadays, parents aren't pressuring their kids as much to eat. But if you're done, you're done. Like, what more do you want to eat? Like, I'm done.
Yeah, because it's traumatizing. Like just sitting there being forced to eat a plate of food that you don't want to eat. It is.
Oh no. I feel like we all don't understand each other's point of view because here we are like talking about what we're going through, but like the parents have their own perspective too. Like if I was them and I barely had any money to survive and now I'm an American, I finally have a little bit of money and like I'm like, you're gonna eat every gosh darn gray on that plate. I probably would say that. I don't waste my food. You know how much that cost me? Like, you know how hard I had to work, how many hours I had to stay away from you, and now I finally get some food. And you're just gonna just discard it like it's nothing. I'm sure that's their perspective. And so we can't think about them. Like right now we're thinking about our relationship with food as well. And we're like, I guess the next question I want to ask us all is like, how do we find our power and how do we find that balance? We want to feel good about ourselves. We don't want them to be like, we don't want their words to mess with where we want to be. We want to be in a healthy, balanced state.
So I feel like for me, to find the balance, I like a structural thing that I could do is finding like a meal plan for myself, like knowing that like, okay, this is what I need to eat. I need to have a plan for it, but also fixing the mindset of it, of how I eat. Like I need to, of course, have the structure of my meal plan, but also knowing if I venture out of that meal plan, it's fine. And I have to be gentle with myself. And also fixing the relationship with like my allergies and working on that. Because trust me, allergies play a big part in how, especially if you were raised with a lot of allergies, like it plays a big part. Of course, like, we've talked about it a lot today, but it plays a huge part in it, and it inserts its own trauma to yourself. So whenever I go to like a new restaurant, I know that I have to bring my EpiPen and I have to have Benadryl, so I feel safe. It's not even because I am not about to die of food. Because I generally love finding new restaurants and having that experience, but like I get scared. Like me and my family yesterday, we were going to Jackie's Brick House. We're just going to a new restaurant, and they're like, "Oh, we're getting crawfish," because there are people that do eat crawfish. And I was like, okay, one, I don't eat it, but I also don't eat it because it's an allergy. I delayed it for hours. And I was like, why am I just no? And I was like, okay, it's because I'm allergic to it. Okay, you just need to bring your EpiPen. And you need to, I keep my EpiPen in my car. It's not the safest thing to do, but it's there, okay? And you need to make sure you have Benadryl. I always have Benadryl in my car. I have Benadryl in every single purse that I own, right? So it's like, if I bring those things, I'll be okay. And I have to talk myself into going and experiencing that. Because I know whatever I order, it's not going to be something I'm allergic to, or I'm going to ask enough questions. I have to have that little reassurance. And also balancing what I think is healthy for me. So just having those conversations with myself is definitely going to help my balance. Because ideally in the future, what I want my relationship to food to be like is I want to make sure that everything that, not everything, but at least 60 to 70% of whatever I eat is nutritionally dense, but I'm having fun. I generally love food. I want to still have that fun relationship with food.
Mhm.
One more question with you, Naomi. Like, I guess I want to know, how do you think you'd want to react in the future when people make comments about what you're eating or what you look like, or mostly like what you're eating?
Mostly when I'm eating, I just don't want to have a reaction to it at all. Like that would be the best thing for me. Just like keep it rolling. Like, just like, all right, next topic. Cause like that's not an appropriate topic to make.
Mhm.
Like if I was with any extreme, if I was just eating ramen noodles every single day for like 5 years, you shouldn't make a comment about that. It's still not appropriate.
What I've heard people tell me is like, I care about you, and so I feel like I have to say something. But I think it shouldn't be derogatory. I think there's a way to say it that's not derogatory. Even if
Yeah.
someone wants to make a comment, there's got, like, you know what I mean? Like if someone says like, man, I keep seeing you drink Monsters all the time. I'm like, I know that's your thing, but I really care about you. So I just want to say like, you can do what you want, but I care about you, and I just want to know why you're drinking. I feel like that's better than just like, why are you drinking all that stuff? Like, I feel like that's different than saying, you know what I mean? It's like how you come to the
Yeah,
person. Like
definitely.
the
I feel like
response.
the tension behind it is definitely going to determine the type of response that you should have. Because if somebody comes to me and is like, why are you eating that? Like everybody else is having whatever.
Comparison then is a comparison part.
Yeah, it's like everybody else is having whatever. Why aren't you eating that? Or you're eating trash right now. Like, what are you doing? It's different to saying, hey, I see you have been like having a lot of Monsters recently. Are you more tired than normal? Or have you tried this other product that will also give you the energy? Like, I just want to figure out what's going on with you. Are you okay? Versus that comparison and coming off so negatively. There's always that difference. Like, if you see somebody isn't as adventurous with food, you could always offer, I'm not going to say always, but if you know them well enough.
Yeah. Your relationship with them has to really be a factor. I'm not walking up to someone I don't know and start talking about food. I'm like, who the hell are you? Like, if a church member that I just barely know that just doesn't say hello, hi to me and starts talking about food, I'm gonna be like, get the out of my way. I'm sorry. Like, I'm really defensive about people I don't know giving me advice. You don't know me. Please back up.
Exactly. Because
We
it's
gotta have
weird.
a relationship together. Like, y'all, if y'all came to me, it has to be serious. If y'all tell me about food, I'm missing something. Like, let me listen, because y'all really trying to tell me something because you care about me. I know you do.
Yeah, because I mean, if it's from a random person, it's weird. Like, it's very weird. Even like coming from and also the thing is, people think that they can say certain things to you, when in reality, it's going to come off bad. Like, sometimes our uncles and our aunts could say something and they think that they have the authority to say certain things and think it's well intentioned, but it's not.
Like it.
I don't like it. Exactly. I don't like it, and you know that I have an adverse effect in my face. You can see in my face that I don't want to hear what you're saying. Walk away. But anyway, but that's the thing. Like, I want to have it in me to know how I should react to that situation. Should I discernment? That's what I was trying to say. The discernment of, should I react to it or should I not react to it? And more than likely, it's going to be, I'm not about to react to it. So yeah.
For me personally, if we're still on the topic of like how we take our power back when it comes to food, what can you rephrase that?
Yeah.
I was asking Naomi, like, in the future, how do we want to take our power back when it comes to how we approach food and finding a healthy balance for ourselves? And the reason I brought up power is because people are going to test you, or you just want to feel good about like what you eat, period. Like, how you feel about yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, perfect. That makes sense. So when people test me, like for example, sometimes you'll wake up a little later, like you'll wake up at 10 and you'll find yourself like eating breakfast at 11. At 11, sometimes, that's when my grandma will sometimes take her lunch. And so it's like, well, I'm eating my eggs and my, little breakfast that I made. She's eating, her stew, her curry, her meat, her chicken, or whatever she's eating. And so a lot of times, whenever I am eating breakfast at that time, she'll be like, why are you eating blah blah blah, everybody else is eating this, and it's not even just her that'll make comments like this, but just like that's just an example for like a time people will test me. It's
Can I
just
just
being
say one thing? Also, sorry. You know what breakfast means? Most people don't hear it really well. It's breaking your fast. You can break
breaking
your
your fast.
fast. You can break your fast with rice and peas. You can break your fast with
Oh yeah.
what the world calls breakfast food, but it's just eggs. That's you
Oh
can
yeah.
break it. So don't ever let that be. When people tell you that, you realize they don't understand, and you just let it go one ear out the other. Because you can break your fast with what? You can break fast with a smoothie.
I know. I just
Whatever you
personally
want to
like
eat.
I like breakfast foods, whatever is my
Yeah.
first meal of the day, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. That's just me being me. But how I, take my power back is just by saying no. Like it's okay. Like I'm fine. I'm happy. Like the most powerful thing I could do with myself is to just be assertive and just be straightforward. And they'll still try and cut at you, but not in like a reaction kind of way, like I'm trying to tell you about how I'm doing things, but just being like just a sharp little, it's fine, I'm okay with what I'm doing, thank you for sharing, just to cut it and shut it down.
Balance.
I mean, how are you gonna find your balance?
Get your power back, queen.
I'll say what I have been doing to get my power back is research. So I know what's realistic for me, and what's realistic for me is not being vegan. Like, can I try that for 2 days? And I know that's not for me. And I know being vegetarian is a hard place to go back to. So I know what I want to eat, and I know what I need to eat. And so I'm trying to find how to put those two together in a way that is healthy for me. Because I'll admit that one of my problems is that I like to eat a lot, and I just be eating throughout the day. I don't need a reason to eat. I just be eating. And so I need to, it's a problem. So I know I need to try to find ways when I'm not eating so much throughout the day, but what I'm eating is giving me enough nutrients to last me a few hours until it's the next meal, or and so on and so forth. And so that is kind of that's kind of a way how I am trying to gain that power back. And I've been working on the being more healthy part, and it's been working. It's all right. We getting somewhere. But since I've been back home, kind of went back to square one, because after being in school and I eat a lot, and then you come home to a surplus of food, it's like, oh, finally, I've been starving, now I can finally eat. So it's we're getting somewhere, but like I said, it's really like up and down. But I feel like if I just keep on that path, I'll always keep on researching, always trying to find ways to how to eat more healthier, but not starve myself. I feel like for a good point in high school, I wasn't really eating. And so now I'm kind of doing the opposite. So it's been an interesting journey. So yeah, that's how I'll answer that question. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I will say about eating healthy, when I changed my like mindset to like not trying to eat healthy, but trying to eat more intentional, that really helped me to eat healthy, but not feel bad about decisions I was making, because it's like in the morning, it's like I'm intentionally like, okay, I'm gonna have eggs and then I'm gonna have a Greek yogurt with honey because that's gonna give me some good bacteria and the eggs are gonna give me protein, stuff like that. And then it's like I'm gonna eat Chick-fil-A because I think it's good for lunch. And then at night, something else. Stuff like that. It's like you get your nutrients and your happiness and your health, So that helps me feel better. And it helps me feel like I'm doing something right. And there's like a rhyme or reason to what I'm putting inside my body to help me. Because at the end of the day, I feel like it's okay to indulge, but we need to protect our bodies.
Yeah. And that kind of goes with like the research factor. Like the research factor, and also like looking at our parents to see how they feel with what they've been eating. Like we've talked about it before, but I want to be healthy whenever I'm older, and I want to make sure that my body functions appropriately. If I want to make sure I do my research and know that, hey, I'm putting the right fuel in my body, because whenever I'm older, I don't want the same problems my parents have.
Yep.
And I know Ariel's talked about it before with us, but I don't want the same pains in my knees all the time like my mom does. What can I do to do that? Let me look and see what foods help oil your body,
Yes. When Emerald said research, my mind was like, yes. Because last year, I think I told y'all this off air, like my knees were messing with me. Like they were clicking. I was working at Target and I was walking a lot and everybody was limping. Almost every single person was limping. So I was like, yo, what kind of shoes you wear? Like, are your shoes helping you? They were like, it don't matter what shoes you get, your knees are gonna be jacked up. And I was like, well, I don't want jacked up knees. I'm trying to have a baby in a couple years. Like, I'm not trying to just fall apart already. It didn't matter what age they were. Everybody was in pain. And I was like, I don't want to be in pain. So I tried to keep working through it. I tried to like change things, but nothing was working. I left that job. And I just said, I have to see what's going to help. I took vitamins alone, ashwagandha, whatever foods they recommend for inflammation and your joints, collagen, peptides, I was taking that. But just by itself, I was like, can I cheat the system? Can I just take the nutrient? Can I just take the vitamins and not do any workout? No. My body was like, you can't cheat. And so I called Auntie Fiona, Emerald's mom, and I was like, what do you do? And she's like, well, I haven't been on it all the time, but here's what I would do if I was consistent. She told me to get the roller ball and all that stuff. And that really helped. Whenever I had like fluid above my knee or my knees would swell up, I would use that thing, that roller ball, and rub. It's a workout, but it's like you feel the fluid release. And so I was doing all these different things. And I was like, okay, Treasure, what kind of foods do you need to eat? So pretty much whenever I would cheat and eat fast food or like eat bad foods, not bad foods, I would eat foods that weren't nutrient dense consistently, my knees would start to swell, my legs would start to tingle, my feet had this weird sensation. I was like, okay, so my body's telling me what it needs. And so it's like, I need to pay attention to how I feel and not ignore if I have soreness, not ignore if my legs are like need to be elevated. Like I just need to pay attention to what my body needs. So I think that's me doing research, like Emerald said, paying close attention to my body. And also when I do research, when people talk to me, it doesn't bother me anymore. Like obviously I still get reaction, people comment about what I look like. Like that irks me because you don't know if I'm depressed, you don't know if I'm going through things. So don't comment on what you don't understand. But when people try to tell me about like, oh, you shouldn't be fasting, or I don't care what they think, because they have to choose a diet that works for them. I'm choosing the diet that works for me. And what's been working for me is intermittent fasting, eating in the afternoon and eating at dinner. It will change when I travel or when I move, but for now, 2 meals a day works for me. So if you comment about what works for me, I don't care what you think. I've done what I've done my homework and it works for me. So yeah, research, paying attention to my body. And as you get older, you have to change your diet because you don't want to be on medications. You don't want to be limping all over the place. You want to be able to get up sprightly, walk up and down stairs with your partner. You want to have all the energy for all the fun stuff. So I don't want to be I'm too young to be limping. But if I don't pay attention to my body, I will be limping and I will be on medication. And I don't want that. And I'm only like 30. I'm in my early 30s. And like, just like that, it starts hitting you like for real. Right now, you're all fearless. You feel good no matter what you eat. But let me tell you, the minute 30 hit, you be like, ooh, oh, I slept wrong. I can't sleep with that pillow no. Let me switch that pillow. Ooh. It sneaks up on you.
Yeah, like my grandma, one thing that shocked a lot of people was she wasn't on medication for 98% of her life. She didn't go on medication until the last few months of her life. She didn't need anything except for pain medication and like sleep medication.
Oh, that was just so intriguing to me. Sorry.
Like her vital signs were amazing. Okay. My grandma I swear to you, she walked up and down stairs until about 6 months before she passed. My grandma passed at, I don't know her age. I think she was like 85, 6, 7, 4. I don't know. But she was in her 80s. She walked up and down the stairs until about 4 months. 4 or 5 months before she passed. Up and down.
So blood pressure, blood sugar,
great
levels. Ooh.
She had really good iron. She had really good blood pressure. One of the nurses and good blood sugar. And the nurse was like, how's her blood pressure better than mine? And the nurse was like in her 30s.
You know, I always did remember Anjay as somebody who was always able to get up and stand up and walk with us. And she was never like some crippling old lady, you know.
She was slim.
Mm-hmm.
No, she wasn't. She was slim whenever we got to know her, but in her pictures, she wasn't always super thin. She became thinner.
That's what I'm saying. When I knew her, I don't know about her life before, but
yeah, so she had slimmed down a part of her life, but she had, I always like to call it a grandma body, because grandmas are just so like little cuddly, little soft people, and I love it. But she was thicker. My grandma was so thick. Okay, they had to adjust her uniform whenever she was in national service because her butt was so big. Anyway, yes, they had to fix that thing because booty big. Okay, waist.
She passed that on. Okay, on Jay.
Yes, I thank God every single day. But anyway, that's not the point.
Sorry.
But that's not the point. But she only ate fish. She saw how everything, she did her research, saw how cows and chickens were treated in America, decided not to eat any meat except for fish in America. She did her research. She would try to have a good relationship with food, and she would be very knowledgeable about what she was putting in her body, which I feel like a lot of people who are 7-day Adventists were raised with, like just an awareness about food and health. Not saying it was good or bad. I was saying there was an awareness.
The health message was, high priority.
Exactly. Like, we were raised with God food. Like, those two things were heavily preached to us. Like, we have a blue zone in California where all they eat is from like the earth and stuff like that. But she really took on the message about food and tried her best to do that, and would make sure that I had vegetables when I was growing up, and she would make sure that she had her little exercise. You could not take away her walking. she would always walk somewhere. But talking more about food, she would make sure that she would put the best in her body, so she had good vital signs up until she wasn't even able to take care of herself or know exactly what was going on. Like, that's something that I really, I wouldn't say, of course, like respect, but gave me the awareness that I want to be like that whenever I grow up. But I also want to make sure, do my research to see what can help the things that are generationally affecting my family and see if I can fix that through food. Like, what causes dementia? Like, what can I do and what can I eat to help with that and either delay or possibly not even get dementia? Because it's something that's heavily affected my grandma's generation. So yeah. I don't know who else did talk about
I think we're
where
talking
they
about
would be.
trying to find a healthy balance and then like
Yeah.
having
So did you
more
talk about
power.
Yeah. Did everybody talk about how they're finding their power back?
Eating intentionally.
The research, baby. Once you got that research, you can't tell me nothing. I don't care what feedback you got to tell me. Ooh,
Yeah.
one time Aiden told me, I was frustrated about something. I'm always reacting to people. Like I'm getting upset. Aiden's just looking there like, I don't get, he just looking like chill as a cucumber. But somebody was trying to tell him about his exercising. And he said, why would you listen to someone that doesn't even understand? Like, why would you listen to a person that's like this tiny tell me about exercise? So people didn't want me to lift weights, even though lifting weights would be good for me. But they saw me at scoliosis. They were like, why are you lifting weights? Why would you want to get bigger? La, da, 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 da. He's like, why are you listening to those people? Do they exercise? Or are they overweight? Da, 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 da. He's like, then don't listen to them. And so I think that's something to remember to get our power back. It's like, why would I listen to feedback with someone that doesn't understand me, is not actually practicing what they're preaching? You're just talking just to talk. I'm just going to look at you and just smile and be like, what you say has nothing to do with me and really doesn't matter. I need to just take a breath and not respond. And be like, cool. Just laugh. Cool. I gotta remember that though. Because it'd be heated. It'd be setting me off a little bit.
Yep. Facts. Well, I feel like we've had some like amazing points today of just about food and like how to grow your like relationship with it. And I feel like the conversation that we had today is definitely going to think not only about how we are with food, but how other people react and how maybe their current situation affects their relationship with food. So I feel like that's great.
Really happy. I feel like we all had an emotional contribution to this. Like we could go off. I feel like we could have a part 2 because this is so good to me.
We should for the
I want to hear more about y'all allergy stories. I just want to like really, I want to have more compassion for people. And unless you know what they really went through, you really can't understand. And I really want to like have another segment with y'all just talking about your allergies because
we could do it because I got stories for days. All right. Emmy, it's your section.
Hey, all right. So today, have a new artist. I'm not sure how new she is, but she's relatively new to me at least. Her name is Raven Lene. She kind of gives you like smooth R&B, Jamelia Woods, the internet, Sid type of vibe, just very smooth. And so I discovered her album, which came out 6 days ago actually, called Hypnos. And it's a really nice chill album. I highly recommend you check it out. His artists featuring Steve Lacy, Mariba Semino, and a few other artists. And I just love the vibe. The vibe is just very chill and smooth. Yet you hear a little reggae, you hear a little bit, just a little bit, so just a little drizzle, just give you a little taste. You feel me? And so yeah, I love checking out new artists. I love going on TikTok. Sometimes I be seeing new artists and their music, like little clips of their music on TikTok too. I'm like, ooh, who's this? And so thank you, Spotify, because I would not know her if it was not for Spotify. But yeah, her name is Raven Lene. That's Ravyn. Beautiful name. But yeah, Raven Lene. Definitely check her out.
Oh my gosh, I love neo soul, so I'm definitely gonna check her out. And I love Smino. That's low key my husband, but he don't know it yet.
I love genuine R&B because for the last couple years I was just kind of worried about where R&B was headed. It sounded very popish, very like just very. I love sex and stuff like that. Like I love sexual or like sensual music, but it just was giving off too much of that like popish vibe. It was like, when is R&B gonna go back to being R&B, like sultry, like about something? And when I'm hearing artists like Lucky Day and like Masego and other people, I'm like, finally it's beginning to sound R&B. It's like, come on, let's keep adding to that. So I'm excited to hear her now because I'm like, yes, please bring me back some classic R&B.
Yeah.
Please get me in the vibe. I just need the vibes, man. I love the oldies, but I want to hear some new stuff too.
Yes. I mean, I'm just excited for you to put out a playlist. Whatever you want to.
I literally was just thinking about doing that because I can't tell you how many playlists I've made. I have over 30 playlists I've made personally on my Spotify account.
We need to follow we all need to follow each other on Spotify, just straight up.
And make them public.
Oh no, they're all public. Like that's the thing. There's so many of them.
You can click on them. You can click on them.
Yeah, so you just gotta scroll. See what you can find. There's Afrobeats, there's reggae, there's 90s R&B, there's neo soul, there's pop. There's so many different vibes. I love putting vibes in different categories. So if one day I'm feeling Bruno Mars-ish, I put on the pop playlist, and then I hear some Katy Perry or whatever. Or the next day I'm feeling a little future-ish, might put on the other playlist here, well. Travis Scott, here Young Thug or whatever, like whatever vibe you're feeling, I got you.
I have one called Ninjas, and it's all like that hood rap that makes you just want to go like makes you just want to be like just trashy. Like I have trashy rap, like
that's funny.
I'm down for no, I'm not down for no. Yo, like that kind of stuff, like from back in the day it's just so good.
Not you like it.
I'm not a playlist person, but I'm really proud of that one, and I just want to keep adding to it. I just want to say that, keep adding to that hoodness.
Yeah, so I'm excited to follow your playlist, Emmy, because I'm a like songs type of girl. I'll just like it, and it'll just play because no organization here. But I follow your one of the Caribbean ones that you have, and it's really good.
Yeah, I got like 3 now. See, like I said, I got different vibes for different everything. But yeah.
See, when you find a lane, you be in your lane, and I appreciate your lane. I like
I love your lane. Any lane is amazing.
I'm gonna visit your lane. It's real nice in there. Yeah, let's visit each other's lane.
Yeah.
Whatever I can learn from you, I will learn.
Yes, I'll be tuned in.
So her name is, again, I want to hear her name on Raven Lene. What's the last name spelled?
Lenae.
That's easy to remember.
Yes. It'll be great if you did like a weekly.
I've always what were you saying?
I was like, it'll be great if you made like a weekly playlist. That'll be so fun. If we have different songs,
that would be too much pressure with her job, but I feel like you're gonna hear more music at your job too. I love Shazam.
Oh,
like, you're gonna be at work and you're gonna hear music at your job because it may not be that great.
At Marshalls, like all day.
You got happy and I got sad. I hated Marshall's playlist.
They play loud music out my window, so my phone be like this on the regular. They be blasting music. I'm like, "Ooh, what's that jazz? That's a good jazz. I'm Caribbean. What Caribbean song is that?" That's not like island vibes, bro. Any last words? Anything you want to leave the pod? Anything you want to drop that you feel like is the people need to know this? That should be what it is.
I feel like this is how the note that I want to end it. Figure out what you actually like and just find what you actually like and stick to it and expand upon that. Don't listen to what other people have to say. Food related, life related, anything like that. Find your lane, stay in it. Yes. All right. Any other last words? No.
I like that. I like
All right.
it.
Bet. All right. So we will see you guys later. Bye, y'all.
And follow us on the gram.
Yes, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
Just follow us somewhere, okay?
Get to
And
know
also
us.
all of our streaming platforms, which we will have listed below. So thank y'all. Bye.
Bye.